Hi, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is the Standard's Tech and Science Daily Podcast. Coming up, can a pill increase the chances of pregnancy? Now, let's get into it. The founding CEO of the National Cybersecurity Centre is warning that the NHS's IT system is at risk of further cyber attacks. Here's the Standard's health reporter, Daniel Keane.
Professor Kiran Martin, who is the chief executive of the National Cybersecurity, has warned that parts of the NHS's IT system are out of date and could be at risk of further cyber attacks. This comes after 3 major London NHS trusts were hit by a significant cyber attack in June.
Now a professor at the University of Oxford, Professor Martin has highlighted 3 critical issues facing NHS cybersecurity: outdated IT systems, the need to identify vulnerable points, and the importance of basic security practices.
I think a lot of people who work in the NHS would relate to the comments made by Professor Martin. There's been several quite high-profile cyber attacks, notably one in Scotland last year, and patients have actually had their data stolen and sold on the dark web. So it's quite a serious issue, and without investment, it's unclear, whether patients can expect their data to be safe.
NHS England has said it was increasing its cybersecurity resilience and had invested £338 million in the past 7 years addressing this issue. However, it still remains unclear what exactly happened when it came to the recent hack and the true extent of the impact.
So NHS England has been providing weekly updates on the amount of operations and procedures that have been cancelled in London due to the cyber attack. But one thing that has complicated this is the fact that Synovis, which processes the blood test results and which was the source of the attack, is a private company. So they are continuing their investigations and trying to figure out just how their systems were breached. It could be a few months until we find out what really happened here. In the meantime, the NHS and kind of cybersecurity officials in the government will be highly sort of primed for another attack. But that doesn't mean that one couldn't take place. And we've seen, if you're vulnerable enough to be breached once, then it could happen again.
NASA volunteers who spent a year in a Mars bunker simulation have spoken publicly for the first time since completing their mission. Here's 2 of the crew, Medical Officer Nathan Jones and Commander Kelly Haston.
Wow, that went by quickly. I really hope I don't cry standing up here in front of all of you.
Tapia 1 has been a unique experience with great challenges, joys and sorrows, and a lot of hard work, with a fair bit of fun thrown in as well.
I've been asked many times, why the obsession with Mars? Why go to Mars? Because it's possible. Because space can unite and bring out the best in us.
The 4-person team emerged on Saturday at around 5 p.m. local time after spending 12 months in NASA's first simulated Mars environment at Johnson Space Center in Houston. The quartet lived and worked inside the space of 1,700 square feet to simulate a mission to the Red Planet. Here's NASA Deputy Director of Flight Missions, Kjell Lindgren, welcoming them back.
The path to Mars is beset with challenges. The crew and their families have committed a year of their lives in service to NASA, to the country, and to humanity's exploration of space.
They were the first CHAPEA crew, which stands for Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, and were focused on establishing possible conditions for future Mars operations through simulated spacewalks, as well as growing and harvesting vegetables to supplement their provisions and maintaining the habitat and their equipment. 2 more CHAPEA missions are expected in 2025 and 2027. Scientists say that a new pill could help improve the odds of successful IVF treatment, after initial trials have shown promising results. The first of its kind tablet, known as OXO-001 and created by Spanish biotech company OxoLife, has already gone through preclinical trials. The findings showed the drug raised a woman's odds of pregnancy and were clinically significant. The pill will now be tested in a larger group of women in a study known as a Phase 3 clinical trial and will include women who are using their own eggs. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, is artificial intelligence funnier than humans? Welcome back. Apple Intelligence and a better Siri could be coming to iPhones this spring via its iOS 18.4 update. Bloomberg technology journalist Mark Gurman made the claims in his latest Power On newsletter. Apple has so far remained quite vague about when users can expect the Apple AI system to be available to everyone, simply saying next year. It also remains unclear just what exactly we can expect from the flagship AI features, but we should get a clearer idea as newer versions of iOS 18 start incorporating them later in 2024. In the meantime, features like ChatGPT integration, a new Siri interface, and deeper product knowledge that lets Siri give you basic tech support are expected in the autumn. It's being reported that Microsoft employees in China will only be able to use iPhones for work-related activities starting in September. Bloomberg News reports that the move is due to Android devices in China lacking Google's Play Store to distribute authenticator and identity apps for the company's staff. Microsoft is ramping up its internal security efforts after a series of high-profile cyber attacks in recent years. And finally, could artificial intelligence soon replace comedians? Well, potentially, according to a new study. Research from the University of Southern California has revealed that people find ChatGPT 3.5 funnier than humans most of the time. As part of the study, participants were asked to rate the funniness of jokes by humans, who, it should be noted, were not professional comedians, against those from ChatGPT. And overall, almost 70% thought the AI chatbot was funnier. They also compared the work of professional writers to ChatGPT, asking it to rewrite headlines from a satirical news site. In this part, humans were rated just as good as ChatGPT. PhD candidate Drew Gorenz, who conducted the study and is an amateur stand-up comedian, said the implications are overall more positive for people who want to add a bit of humour into their communications, but less positive for those in the comedy industry. You're up to date. Come back at 4 PM for the Standard podcast for all the latest news and analysis. Tech and Science Daily will be back tomorrow at 1 PM. See you then.